The first step, and probably most important step, to raise your vibrations when you're going through a funk or a wave of what I call anxiety and depression, is to get up and get out of bed. It's probably the most important step that you can take. I know what it feels like to wake up in the morning, look around your room. For a second you forgot maybe you were anxious or depressed, and then all of a sudden it hits you. Either this impending sense of doom, maybe you're shaking, maybe you're sweating, maybe you just don't have any interest in what's going on in life in general. So it's so tempting just to hide in bed. So the most important thing you can do, put your 2 feet on the ground and get out of bed when you're going through a wave. When you are going through a wave, they can sometimes last, a few days, a few weeks, a few months, and then you get what I call a window. And you don't feel any of those things, and it's not hard to get out of bed. You have lots of interest. So just get out of bed, open up your window, just keep going. That's the number 1 step. Step 2, or the next step, is I make my bed. It's psychologically a lot harder to get back into your bed if it's made every morning. So as soon as you get up, make your bed. I know some people have small children that cannot, get themselves breakfast and stuff, or have to work super early, so they have to force themselves to get up. But after you, for instance, get your child off to school, or maybe you don't work early in the morning, it's very tempting to just climb back into bed. So a lot harder if it's made. And if I'm having a particularly hard morning, as corny as some people may find this, is I listen to the motivational speech from Rocky. I know it sounds corny, but it really actually helps motivating me, because it is true. It's not about how much you get hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep on going. And, you just have to keep going. And if you have that little bit of push motivation, then that can bring you to the next step, which I think is another tremendously important one. So the next step is getting some food into your system right. When you wake up, whether you have sugar problems such as diabetes or hypoglycemia or not, your blood sugar is low in the morning. And most people report heightened, their anxiety being more heightened and their depression being more heightened in the morning, and that is a big part due to low blood sugar. So you want to eat something first thing in the morning. And if you're like me and you can't eat a lot first thing in the morning, my go-to for over the last 2 years has been Vega One or Vega One. I really like it. It's not just a protein, it's a nutritional shake, and it's not like, Boost or any of that other junk that actually has a ton of corn syrup and sugar and additives in it. It is really great because it has good fats like flax, and it has fiber and vitamins, and it has 6 green servings, and 20 grams of protein. And it's not whey protein. I can't digest dairy very well. Whey would do a number on my stomach, so it's not whey protein. And I also know that soy can be a hot button topic to people. There's a lot of controversy around soy, so it's not soy protein either. It's plant-based pea protein, which is awesome. So this is very suitable for whether you're a vegetarian or a vegan or not. If you're neither, it's still very suitable for you. It was developed by a vegan triathlete, and my naturopath I brought this in to show her over a year ago, and she thinks it's one of the better ones out there because it doesn't have a lot of sugar and stuff and has a lot of the good essential things. So it's great, especially if you're on the depression side and you might not be eating as well as you should be. You can really get a ton of nutrients in there. Now, it can be honestly a little bit more on the expensive side. So what I usually do is I get it on Amazon. That's literally the cheapest place I have found it so far. I'll put a link to it if anyone's interested in trying it, but this is definitely my go-to. and it's great. So yeah, that is your next step to raising your vibes. You got to get some really great whole foods, some really great energy or a good source in there every single morning. Every morning I go out front and I have my tea and I do a little bit of a meditation. Now you can use different meditation music, gratitude music. I can add some of my favorite ones down below. But one of my favorite things to do every morning is play Bob Marley. I mean, anything, any music, anything that gets you vibing high and feeling good. Every time I play Bob, so many birds come. Doves, canaries, finches, a whole bunch of birds and squirrels and animals. So he's definitely got some good vibes. The next step is exercise. It's been scientifically proven that 20 minutes of exercise every morning not only lowers your cortisol levels for the day, but boosts those feel-good chemicals in your brain. There are lots of different ways that you can exercise. I really like biking. This is my little bike. Sometimes I bike all over the city, sometimes I bike to the gym, sometimes I just bike around the block. This bike has helped me with my anxiety in so many other ways, but that's a different story for a different day. But yep, this is just one of the many things that you can do for 20 minutes to boost those happy chemicals. And the last step is to definitely get out in nature. Always bring your low vibes higher. Say you know what